In this video, I'll be outlining easy ways you can ensure that you are following best practices when creating events in Localist. Best practices are strategies that will keep you on the path to success when it comes to increasing engagement, awareness, and attendance for your events. This resource covers best practices for submissions via the event suggestion form and for events submitted via the admin form. Let's start with the fields available in the event suggestion form, but keep in mind that the following fields are also available in the admin form. When titling your event, make sure that the name you give it is clear and easy to recognize. Attendees tend to scan events, especially when viewing on mobile, so the title should give broad insight about your event. Titles on event listings are truncated at 50 characters, so when possible, craft a title that is at least 50 characters or less. When adding a description, remember that this gives important insight into what attendees can expect from the event or what information they need to know prior to attending. When adding a description to your event, keep in mind that it should be at least 160 characters. Always add relevant text to your descriptions. For example, if your event has a flyer, be sure to type out the details from your flyer directly into your event's description so search engines such as Google can index this information to make it searchable by your attendees. As for the status of your event, if your event is postponed or canceled, do not delete the event. Instead, communicate this change with your audience by updating the status of your event. Users who have already marked themselves as "I'm interested" for the event will see the new status in the notification email that is automatically sent to them the day before an event will take place. The start date communicates when the event will take place. For optimal discoverability, we suggest that your event is published at least 7 days before the event is scheduled. This gives your audience ample time to find your event. With that being said, if you are suggesting an event for approval, the calendar team requires 3 to 5 business days to review an event. Plan accordingly so that your posting schedule allows for it to be published 7 days after the 3 to 5 business day moderation window. If your event has multiple instances and the details of each instance do not change, then create a recurring event by utilizing the repeating options available. This will link all of the dates together on one event landing page, making it easier for your audience to get the full picture. Always double check that the place where your event is being hosted is available in the preset locations directory curated by the calendar team. This will ensure that your event is displayed on the place's landing page and promoted via tools like event widgets accordingly. Select a place page also allows you to skip the address step. For events with an experience of virtual or hybrid, the calendar team admins will be restricting the event's visibility to only those who have logged in with Harvard Key as an extra security measure. This update will take place during the approval process, and no action is required by the user suggesting the event. Photos should be, at minimum, 940 pixels in width. Make sure it's high resolution, easy to recognize at many sizes, and does not contain heavy amounts of text. If using a flyer or a program as your event photo, be sure to enter all the pertinent information in the event description so that it can be indexed by search engines such as Google. If you do not have a unique photo for your event, your new calendar has got you covered. Select Choose from Photo Library to select from the photo library. These are generic images set up and approved by the calendar team that you can use for your events. While there are only 3 required fields, providing as much relevant information as possible is a best practices when suggesting your event so attendees know the full scope. Classification helps make your events discoverable. This includes assigning relevant filters, academic areas, and offices and services. Assigning classification ensures that your events will appear in results as users browse events and ensure they are appropriately curated in tools such as widgets. When including a hashtag, be sure to define a hashtag that is unique at least to your organization. For example, avoid using generic hashtags like #givingback. Instead, use official hashtags, for example, #HarvardGivesBack. Switching gears now to the admin event form. This is where event admins will add their event directly to the live platform On the admin form, you'll find the same fields as the suggestion form, as well as additional admin-only fields. Event reach is a metric to measure the expected reach or audience awareness of an event. This tool quantifies the single event's potential reach, as well as the overall health of the calendar. After looking across our network of calendars powered by Localist, we found the certain amount of content in an event greatly increases awareness and traffic. When adding an event via the admin form, along the right side, you'll see the event reach box. Your event should be around 70%. This indicates the minimum amount of relevant fields that have been completed on the event form. The reach should be around 70% rather than 100% due to the specific fields that may not be relevant to all events, such as ticketing or hashtag fields. Allowing user interest for events means anyone logged in can mark themselves as I'm interested. Interested users will receive an email notification the day before the event will take place as a reminder to attend. This provides you with attendance metrics so you have an idea of how many people to expect on the big day. Please note that for this setting, personal user details are not displayed nor available publicly. The default visibility setting is public, and your event should not be restricted unless absolutely necessary. We recommend changing the visibility in the following instances. Unlisted can be used for small private events and directly circulated via URL. Restricted to logged in users only can be used for events with streaming access. Restricting to places, channels, or widgets is largely dependent on how events are being organized. So unless you've been made aware of needing to add a specific visibility to your workflow, you can assume that it should remain public. The following options are only available to event admins with the featured sponsored permission flag, but it is still important to understand why certain events will receive these designations. Featured events will appear in the large carousel at the top of the Harvard College community calendar. Whether these events are large, unique, can't-miss events, or anything in between, these are high-priority events that the calendar team is officially endorsing as important. Sponsored events are a softer endorsement of the event. When flagged as sponsored, a yellow highlight will appear behind the event. The event will also be given a boost in Localist trending algorithm and rank it higher than any trending list item on the homepage or in a channel. While these events are often high priority as well, this positions them as organically trending and not specifically highlighted by the calendar team. Event admins are not only responsible for adding events, but many of you will be moderating event submissions. Events should be moderated as quickly as possible. While the calendar team is outlining a 3 to 5 business day turnaround on moderation, quick reviews will signal to your event submitters that your team is actively working on the growth of the platform and the promotion of their events. Finally, when rejecting an event submission, always send a detailed explanation to the submitter in the box that appears after clicking reject. This promotes transparency and ensures that they will avoid these types of submissions in the future. Providing them as many details as possible will help them in resubmitting their event properly. If you have questions or need further assistance, please contact the Harvard College Calendar team by emailing collegecoms@fas.harvard.edu.